What up?
What's the deal, squad? What's the deal, squad? What's the deal, squad? Shout out to everybody in the chat right now, chopping it up. Shout out to my fave, Tisha. You got up to 50 likes. All right, I'm cool with that. What up, Tracy? Actually, 2K Tracy. Let me shout out 2K Tracy. Let me highlight one of his comments. I'm gonna highlight 2K Tracy real quick because this topic tonight was inspired by 2K Tracy. So I definitely want to give a shout out to 2K Tracy, one of my biggest supporters. I really F with homie's energy. All right, so we're going to be talking about how to get your shit together. We all have, I don't care who you are, what season of your life you're in, there's always an area that we need to improve in. Let me start off by saying that. But matter of fact, I'll show you guys 2K Tracy's exact screenshot that inspired this live. Hold on, let me pull it up real quick. Because I thought it was an interesting topic. Let's see if I can, let me see how this works. All right, look. I don't know how good y'all can see that. But he said, video suggestion, how to get your shit together. And I actually did a video as well that I'm probably going to post after this. So I'm not going to keep this live stream up. Let's say your viewers are now the old you, Fat Bricks. What would you do? Where would you start? How would you plan things? Talk about those things. I would be really interested because my personality, me personally, I've been depressed now for a very long time. And yes, some issues that you had when you used to be at your heaviest, and it sucks. I'm really interested in looking forward to hear, looking forward on what you would say if you made that video. And I thought it was a great suggestion. I thought it was a really good suggestion. Well, let me put myself. I thought that was a really good suggestion. Make sure you guys hit the like button on the way in. Let me record this. Yes, so let's start off by outlining where Fat Bricks was, because obviously we all have different areas. So I just needed some sort of direction to talk about this through. So I'm going to talk about this. If I were to give Fat Bricks some advice on how to get his shit together, what would that sound like? And I'm breaking this down into 4 steps. So guys, you want to stick around. I will be taking super chat questions, suggestions. All the love from the super chat is definitely invited and appreciated. Thanks in advance. So how to get your shit together. We're going to do step by step. There's 4 steps. Maybe I should highlight. Let me add that. There's 4 steps. Boom. 4 steps. It's important for you guys to stick around for as long as you can. You know, I know people have shit to do. I appreciate everyone for tuning in. But yeah, so like I said, I'm going to pretend as if I'm giving Fat Bricks step-by-step advice on how to fix his life. Right? So this guy, let's talk about this guy real quick, man. Let's talk about Fat Bricks real quick. Because homie, let me remove this. Yeah. So he had recently gotten a felony. Let me say that. So he was now unemployable. And mind you, Fat Bricks got a felony after he graduated college. So he left the streets, left New York City, went to college, got a degree, right? I had been in trouble as a juvenile, but nothing serious, right? So I went and got a degree, struggled, bust my ass, got a degree. And then the year I graduate, I do some dumb shit and I get a felony robbery charge. Imagine that, right? So I lose my job, I lose my house. I had just gotten a divorce. I was in a really tough situation. Let's just say that. I was in a really tough situation. I was depressed. I was experiencing anxiety. You know, I gained a bunch of weight. My doctor essentially told me I would die if I didn't change my lifestyle. I had I was borderline diabetic. I had high blood pressure. I was a mess, bro. This guy was a mess. Hold on, let me pull up another photo. I was a mess, y'all. My priorities were all out of order. And right now, what I'm doing is trying to paint the picture for you guys. I want you to understand the place in my life that I was, that I'm going to give this advice from. My priorities were all out of order. I would pop bottles in the club instead of paying my mortgage. I would do stupid things. Stupid things. I had no guidance, and this is no excuse, but this was the reality of it. I didn't have any guidance. I didn't have anyone to teach me how to be a man, how to be a husband, how to be a father. So I made a lot of decisions that put me in compromising situations. So I dug myself into a hole, and I was in financial trouble. My credit was all jacked up. Probably had like a 400 credit score. I was in debt. I was living literally check to check. And when I lost my job, can you imagine living check to check and then losing your job? That definitely, I spiraled into a terrible place. I recently had another dude come into my kid's life, right? Who now is still in their lives. And I'm very grateful for that. He's a great dude. Honestly, I can make a whole episode on that situation by itself. But yeah, I was in a really jacked up space. All right, I'm checking in the comments right now real quick before I continue. Tisha, where are we with the likes? I want to make sure we got everybody in here before, and we're getting the likes up. Getting the likes up before we. What up, Fresh IRB, Antoine, 2K Tracy, what up? Candace is here. What's up, Candace? Michael Metroke. Did I miss any super chats? Candace, if I miss any super chats, just text me because I'm not looking at the chat the whole time. That's why I'll stop intermittently to look at the chat. But okay, I'll continue. Let me take this off. Yeah, so I was in a really effed up place in life. And I wanted to get my life together. In 2013, I asked myself, okay, how can I get my shit together? What can I do that essentially would be the first domino that if I knock this one domino down, the rest of them will just like fall in place. Everything else will fall in place. And that's when I decided to dedicate my life to fitness. And I started to take care of myself mentally, physically, spiritually, right? That's when I developed a better relationship with my mind. That's when it started. Let me say that. Matter of fact, speaking of your mind, Transform Your Mind t-shirts will be available September the 7th. That's next week. It's going to be a very limited release. I am going to predict that they'll probably sell out the first day. So don't drag your feet on that. My man Antoine said it looked like you had bricks on deck. Yeah, no comment. All right. Do you practice any mental exercise daily, like meditation, affirmation, visualization? All of the above. I'm gonna be let's matter of fact, let's talk about that for a second. All right, we're gonna get to how to get your shit together, but a big tool that I use to get my shit together were these things: meditation, affirmations, visualization. Now, there are two types of people, right? And I want to ask you guys this, and I asked this on the last live. There are two types of people. There are people who only see the world through their five senses, right? Five sensory people who the entire reality is on the outside of them, right? And then there are the multi-sensory people who understand that the outside world is just one aspect of reality. There's an internal world, right? I'm a spiritual person, and a big part of the way, let me speak for myself, the way that I got my shit together was through leaning in on my spirituality. Because depression and trauma and limiting, beliefs and, just having all of these like really intense soul level struggles, it's hard to do that without some sort of spiritual or divine guidance. It's hard to do that. Shout out to my man, We Are the Rip City, for the super chat. I had blood pressure too, man. At my heaviest 2019, I lost 75 pounds and slowly gained like 55 back after the pandemic. I got on meds for the blood pressure, which is now better. Trying to lose weight again. Yeah, man. I've been there. That I personally never took the blood pressure medication. I didn't want to take the blood pressure medication. But, if it's helping, great. But definitely get on top of the weight, man, because once you get your weight together, everything else kind of gets, falls into line. The Untethered Soul is a good book for that. Yeah, that's the book I told you about, bro. Good stuff, man. I'm glad to see you grabbed it. All right, but yeah, so visualization, affirmations, meditation, game changers, guys. I want you guys to really do some research and just figure out how you can form some sort of mindfulness practices into your life. But let's move on, right? Let's move on real quick. So let's say you're a person right now, you feel like you need to get your shit together, whether that's in a financial way, whether that's with weight loss. And in some way, I'm pretty sure all of this stuff can apply, right? Weight loss, finance, relationships, and just your overall level of happiness, your overall levels of wellness. We all can stand to improve in those areas of our life, in one of those areas, but overall, we can all stand to improve. So what if you identify that you're that person, right? You need to get your shit together in some way. The first step you need to make, right, is to have a session where you sit down and you honestly assess yourself. You have an honest moment with yourself. Now, I'm going to be very clear. I'm going to be very honest with you guys. It's not going to be comfortable. It's not going to be comfortable. Being honest with yourself is extremely, extremely uncomfortable, guys. A lot of personal growth is extremely uncomfortable. A lot of spirituality is extremely uncomfortable, because I always like to use that analogy of a muscle, right? In order for a muscle to grow, what does it take? What does it take in order for a muscle to grow? It takes resistance. It takes tiny little tears, right? Putting pressure on it in order for it to adapt. And the same thing happens for the human spirit. The same thing happens for us as humans. When we have pressure, and instead of avoiding it, we face it. That creates, it allows utilities to develop in you when you don't avoid it, right? So sit down, right? This is the first thing you do. You decide, hey, listen, you look yourself in the mirror and you say, hey, insert your name, Bricks. I had this very same moment. I looked in the mirror and I said, Bricks, you need to get your shit together. And I started in the moment, right? And I eventually wrote this stuff down. I started listing all the things that I needed to change about myself. So that's what you want to do. That's what you want to do in this session, right? You sit down, you start off in the mirror, you look yourself in the eyes, right? You look yourself in the eyes and you say, listen, today is the day that I am going to begin the next chapter of my life. The new version of myself. I just went into labor. You just went into labor. Tell yourself in the mirror, I just went into labor and the new me is about to be born. Or I just got, what's the word? Conceived. Because it's still going to take time, right? You're not going to give birth to yourself that day. There's still going to be a gestation period, right? And that gestation period, honestly, is still continuing for me because evolution, growth, it's eternal. It never ends. It never ends. But here's the work though. You sit down with a pen and paper and you really have an honest moment with yourself, right? And the point is not to beat yourself up, right? If you know you need to do better in your relationship, if you know you need to do better with exercise and nutrition, if you know you need to develop better habits so that you can X, Y, and Z, right? Whatever it is that you need to do. If you know that about yourself, it's okay. And it's okay to feel the uncomfortableness of being honest with yourself. You have to be honest with yourself. You can't continue to not want to face your shit. Because in order to get your shit together, you have to face your shit and you have to know what your shit is. You have to know what it is that you need to improve. You can't heal what you never revealed. You can't strategize if you can't see the playing field, right? So you're going to sit down with yourself. You're going to get a journal, start a journal. If you don't have a journal, start a journal. Listen, guys, start journaling. You need to have that time to really get those thoughts from the back of your mind onto a piece of paper. You need to see this. And there's something magical about, and I journal on paper. Where's my journal? I went and got me a good journal. Listen, it got a little lock on it because I don't play, because there's some real private stuff in here. But listen, I got my pen attached. It's by my bed at all times. Journal, guys. Super duper important. Get yourself a journal. And listen, that's one of the habits. When people ask me, what habit changed your life? Journaling is one of the habits that absolutely changed my life, guys. If you can develop 2 or 3 habits that will change your life. If you don't read, right? Let me say 4. If you don't read already, the reading habit will change your life. A journaling habit will change your life. A meditation habit will change your life. And obviously, exercise and nutrition, improving those habits will change your life. Straight up. So let's, if you guys want to move the needle on your personal growth, if you really want to get to know yourself, journaling, meditation, reading, exercise, diet and exercise, good nutrition and exercise. Let me not even use the D word. Good nutrition and exercise, meditation, journaling. And what else did I say? Journaling, meditation, diet and exercise. I forgot the other one, but anyway. So step 1, honest self-assessment. Sit down with your journal. Write down everything that you need to address. Write down what your problems are. What's going on? Why do you need to get your shit together? What is it about your life that you don't like? Write it down. Write it down. What are your strengths? And also, really, really assess where you are, right? Here's a few questions that you can use to journal, right? What are my strengths? Who am I? What are my strengths? What am I good at? What am I naturally good at? What am I not good at? Right? What are my short-term goals? Like what are my goals in general? I bet you most people have never really sat down and wrote this stuff out. A lot of us, we're just existing. And I remember life like that. Just existing. This guy, He had never written his goals, man. He had never written his goals down. Never even thought about it. He didn't acknowledge the world that was outside of what he can perceive with his five senses. He lived in survival mode. He lived in survival mode. And survival mode, it doesn't give you much room to think about stuff like goals. It doesn't give you much room to think about stuff like, good nutrition. And I was trying to survive. I was trying to take care of them babies. I was trying to make sure that, I paid my mortgage. I had bought a house at this time, me and my ex-wife. And honestly, it was because of her. It wasn't because of me, if I'm keeping it 100. You feel me? What do you worry about, right? What do you worry about? Ask yourself these questions, right? This one is a good one. What are my values? What do you value? Listen, that whole concept of understanding your values, it was a game changer for me. Because if you look at any situation in your life that brings you angst, that brings you any sort of pain or discomfort or any situation you don't like, I almost guarantee you it's because you made a decision that went against your values. I guarantee you, if you don't know what personal values are, I do advise you guys to check, to look into that. What are your personal values? What are your personal, oh my God, I need to make a whole live just on personal values. What are your personal values? I think honestly it would be worth it for me to sit on this for a second, guys. I may share my personal value. I'm going to share my personal values with you guys. If you guys want me to share my personal values with you, put a 1 in the chat. Let me know if you guys want me to talk about that or not. All right. In the meantime, I'm going to get these super chats. Shout out to Ricky Webster. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Your fresh and fit interview was golden. Glad I found you, Breaks. Props due. Salute, Ricky Webster. I appreciate the super chat, my man. All right, we got another one. We Are Rip City. Shout out to my man. We Are Rip City. All the support is definitely appreciated, bro. How often would you advise journaling? What else do you journal besides the initial self-assessment? So I journal. So I personally, when I first picked up the habit, just to get the momentum going, I would try to journal every day, but it would only be, I would set a 3-minute timer, right? That way I'm not trying to do too much, right? And that's the key about developing a habit. You want to start off slow. You want to get as many repetitions, but in bite sizes, right? For instance, if you're trying to develop a journaling habit, say, hey, or a meditation habit, say, hey, I'm going to try to do it every day, but for 2 minutes. Instead of trying to do it every day for 20 minutes, and eventually you want to work yourself up to it, but start off small. I would start off every day, journaling for 3 minutes. I would set a quick timer. And if you, listen, here's the thing. If you cannot give yourself 3 minutes a day to journal, to meditate, then you don't want whatever value that this habit will bring to your life. You don't want it. There's no excuse. We have technology. We have these smartphones. Set a timer. Set a reminder. Create the space to develop the habits that will make your life better. Do that, guys. All right, one more super chat before I continue. Where'd it go? Big shout out to my man Will. Big $50 super chat. I appreciate the love, Will. Much love. How do you get the motivation to get in the groove of working out and dieting again? How do you stay consistent with your goals and build a schedule around work that works? Good question. You don't rely on motivation. Let me start off by saying that. You don't rely on motivation. Motivation is an unreliable source of energy. you will never always be motivated. And if you're relying on motivation to keep you going, you're not gonna be consistent. So what you want to do is have the intention. That word, intention. Have the intention, right? Go in saying, hey, this is what I'm trying to do. I am trying to develop an exercise habit. And when you approach it with that mindset, right? When you approach it with that intention, you pace yourself a little bit differently. You understand, if the goal is to make exercise a part of your life, just like brushing your teeth is, right? If the intention is to do that, then you understand you have to go at that goal a little bit differently than if the goal was, oh, I'm trying to lose weight, or I want to find motivation to lose weight. It's just a small mental shift. That's all it is. It's a small mental pivot, and it makes all the difference. Because your body's going to follow your mind, and your intentions are powerful. Guys, do some research on the power of intention, guys. It is an absolute game changer. So, but to answer your question, how do you get the motivation and get in the groove to work out? Now, first and foremost, you have to have reached this point where you understand the value of building an exercise and eat a healthy eating habit. You have to internalize what it would do for your life. And it has to be something deep. Your reasons why has to be something deep. It can't be because you want to fit in a size 32 skinny jeans. That's not going to be enough. You can't be because you want to flex on Instagram when you go to Cabo. That's not going to be enough. Don't get it twisted. Those goals matter as well. But from my experience, and I've worked with literally thousands of people, that those sort of motivations never work. It has to be something deeper. For instance, for me, it was, I wanted to be a better example for my kids. I wanted to age well. I had goals like, yo, when I'm 50, 60, 70 years old, I want to be running marathons. Right? I had this like macro, big picture view on things, and it inspired me in a different way. Now, there's a difference between motivation and inspiration. So you just got to decide, bro. You got to decide. As a man, you have to make a promise to yourself. I don't know if you have a family. I don't know what you have in your life that you can attach to this mission, right? To this mission of changing your lifestyle and becoming a healthier, better version of yourself. But you have to do it for reasons outside of you as well. You got to do it for yourself too. Let's not get it twisted. But somebody in your life is dependent on you. Somebody in your life is watching you, right? Whether that's a niece and nephew, whether that's a child, whether it's your brother and sister, whether it's your uncles, your father, somebody is watching you. Somebody needs for you to lead them. Think about stuff like that. Also, make a decision to attach. Say to yourself, I live a healthy lifestyle. Attach that to your identity. Because our behaviors typically follow, right, what we attach to our identities. Put that shit in your bio right now. Say, yo, listen, I'm a healthy lifestyle nut, or I'm a fitness advocate. I don't know, whatever title, however you want to title it. Even if it's not true right now, put it in. I challenge everybody watching this right now. If you have a goal to have the body of your dreams, put in your bio, yo, dream body loading, or something that attaches this to your identity. You have to speak that shit first, guys. Listen, I have videos. I don't know if I could pull it up if it would take too long. I have videos of when I was 350 pounds I'm talking into a camera, telling myself, yo, one day I'm gonna have a six pack. One day I'm gonna help other people lose weight. I spoke that shit. I didn't even believe it at first, guys. I told myself a lot of lies. I'm not even gonna lie. I am no, yeah. I'm keeping it 100. I told myself a lot of lies. I had to brainwash myself. Let me see if I can find any. Hold on. I got let me show you guys real quick. I don't know if I have those, but here, look, man. Look at this dude. Look at this dude. Look at homie. Look at this dude. Do y'all see him? You think if he looked in the mirror and he told himself like, yo, you're gonna have a six pack one day, that initially he believed it? You think he believed it? Nah, he didn't believe it. Look at him. Look at this dude. Look at him. Bruh. Who that? Aaron, that's me. That's me. All 360 pounds of it. Me. Hold on, let me show you another one. Look at this one. Look at him. Let me remove this from the screen so y'all can see it. That's me, y'all. How do I remove this? Hold on, y'all. My bad. Look. Look at this dude. You think this dude really believed at first that he would one day be on YouTube with 700,000 subscribers trying to give people game? You think this dude really thought that? Nah, bro. But he made a decision that he wanted to believe that, so he started telling himself that. Ooh, nah, my bad. I almost mooned y'all. My bad. I almost mooned y'all. Listen, I had to brainwash myself. I had to do a lot of lying to myself, guys. I had to do a lot of lying to myself. But eventually, yo, all right, my audio should be good now. If my audio is good, put a one in the chat. My bad, y'all. Still no? I'm good. All right, I'm good. All right, thank you. Damn, I wonder how long my shit been out. My bad, y'all. My bad. But anyway, all right, let's move on. I'll do a separate live about personal values, guys, because personal values is everything. That's what you use to make decisions in your life, because your life is nothing but a compilation of the decisions that you make every day. And what do you use to make decisions? You got to be clear on who you are, what you want, and where you're going in order to make the best decisions that align with who you are. And that's what you do, that through a personal value assessment. You got to know what your personal values are. I advise everybody, that's one of the best exercises you can do. Look up personal values if you're not familiar with the concept, and really, really get to know and identify what your personal values are. It will be one of the greatest things you've ever done for yourself. All right. Thanks, Cosmic Sage. He said he let me know when my mic cut off. I had to do a lot of lying to myself. It's real. All right. I appreciate that. It gives my mind some clarity on where I lost you guys. But yeah, ask yourself, what gives yourself meaning? All right. So step 1.5, right? Before we move to step 2. After you have this session with yourself where you're journaling, you know, everything you want to address, and you really ask yourself these questions, then you set some clear, measurable goals. Not this, yo, I want to be a millionaire. No, yeah, I want to lose 100 pounds. I mean, yeah, those are good goals, right? Absolutely. But clear, measurable goals. You want to have clear long-term goals, and then you want to have clear short-term goals that cumulatively get you to your long-term goals, right? So you want to obviously set your long-term goals first, write them down. What are they? In detail. I mean, down to the color of the brick of the house. Detail, as much detail as possible. What do you want to, where do you want to live? Who do you want to be with? Who do you want to be? How many kids, etc. What kind of cars? What are you doing every day? What are your everything? Detail. Long-term goals. Short-term goals, I mean, goals that you can reach every week. Because here's the thing, man, life is about momentum. You got to build momentum in life, guys. You have to, we have to gain wins, guys. Whether it's with weight loss or any sort of goal, you have to create momentum, and you do that by hitting small milestones at a time, right? The journey to losing 100 pounds, it happens an ounce at a time. You feel me? It starts an ounce at a time. So some good, clear, measurable goals, smart goals, right? Some smart goals, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic. I like it. Thank you. Hold on, let me put that up. I appreciate that, Aaron B. Smart goals, right? And be detailed. Write all this stuff down. And then from your goals, right? Long-term goals, short-term goals, then you create to-do lists, tasks that you do every day. Because that's the thing. It takes action. It takes activity to make any changes. You're trying to get your shit together. It's going to take you doing things. Activity, actions. We can sit here and philosophize all day. That doesn't move the needle. That doesn't move the needle. Guys, have long-term goals, short-term goals, and then actions that get you to these short-term goals, right? You reach these short-term goals, and make sure you celebrate. Make sure you celebrate. I'm terrible at this, guys. I am terrible at this. Make sure you celebrate every little goal. And don't celebrate if you lose 7 pounds, don't celebrate with a Sunday. I'm not saying do that, but really give yourself a good pat on the back and acknowledge it, and share your wins with people you love, guys. Share your wins with people you love and celebrate. Have people in your life that celebrate you, right? So you want to have clear, measurable goals, right? What do you also, again, the vision for your life. What do you want? Who do you want to be? What are the things that you want to be true about your life? Ask yourself that question. What are the things that you want to be true about your life? I got to throw that on the screen. Ask yourself that question. Really. Create a vision. Create a vision board. I'm a big advocate for vision boarding. All right, let's move on to step 2, right? Step 2, you want to communicate to everyone close to you that you're going to be focusing on personal growth and ask them to support you in this or respectfully leave you the hell alone. The people in your life, guys, your cast, the people that you choose to have in your life, they will either make you or break you. Straight up. You have to have a conversation with the people closest to you, whether that's your significant other, whether it's your mom and dad, whether it's your siblings, your best friends, whoever, and say, hey, listen, I've made this decision to create this new version of myself, right? And I'm going to say that again. You've made this decision. It starts with that. You've made this decision to become this new version of yourself. And you want to sit down with the people you love and you tell them, like, listen, this is what's happening. I need y'all to support me or stay the fuck out of my way. Please, respectfully. Because I've seen it over and over again, man. People who have these great intentions, but they allow the people in their lives to drag them down. And people will. Listen, let me be very clear, guys. Let me move this from the screen. Let me be very clear. People are not going to like it when you start getting your shit together. People are not going to like it. And it's not because they don't love you. Because what's going to happen is it's going to be triggering for a lot of people when you start to level up, when you start to invest energy into yourself and instead of into the BS that they're into or whatever, right? I don't know people's situations, but I want to give you the heads up, guys. The people, and it's going to be people close to you, and it's going to hurt like hell. It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. So be prepared. Be prepared. When you start getting your shit together, you're going to see a lot of people's ugly parts start rearing their heads. Their ugly heads starts rearing, whatever that term is, right? You're going to trigger a lot of people, especially when you start seeing the results. I like that. Intel Inside says, look, it turns a mirror on them. Bars. Because what happens is when you start to scale the excuses that they use to make them feel okay with where they are in life, right? Even though they're not happy, but they lean on these excuses. And when you jump over those excuses, it makes them feel like, oh shit, this person just snatched my excuse away from me. So now they feel less than. It makes them insecure. It triggers them. So what they do, instead of acknowledging that, they attack you because they want to bring you back to the place where their excuse is still valid. So they're going to try to attack you. And they don't even know why they're doing it. This is totally subconscious. It's a triggered response. And that's the reason why you need to be understanding and not take it personal. It's going to be tough. When you start getting your shit together, people are going to be upset about that. So please heed my warning. And it's only going to get worse as you level up. Larry Live says, that's how I lost friends. Larry, I know Larry. Larry's a great dude. Great dude. And if anybody loses Larry as a friend, that's their loss for sure. He lost friends because he wanted a better life. I hate that this is true, guys. I hate that this is true. I hate that this is true, but it is. And I just want to forewarn you. I want to forewarn you because it's tough to deal with. It's definitely tough to deal with. All right. So step 2 was to communicate to everyone around you. Listen, this is going to be a season about me. I need you to either support me or stay out my way. Right. You're going to have to create boundaries. You're going to have to create boundaries. And if you're dating, if you're single and you're dating and you're trying to get your shit together, stop it. Stop dating. Just cut the dating. Cut the dating. Excuse my grammar. I didn't even mean to share this on the screen, which is why I didn't really write it properly. But if you're dating and you're trying to get your shit together, stop. Cut it out right now. You don't have the room for it. You don't have the rent for it. This is the season about you. And that goes for men and it goes for women. Stop it right away. You cannot, I'm not saying you can't. It's harder. It's harder. Your energy is divided. The energy that you should be investing into you, going inward, you're sharing that. Unless, right? I'm going to say it because this is just like a 1% chance, slight, not even 1% chance, but you may meet someone who supports you, right? But let's not even include that in this topic because it's very rare. It's very rare. At ease. Shout out to my brother, Soul Immortal, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate the $20 super chat, bro. Much love, much love, much love, much love. Listen, I've been blessed to meet this man and to call him a brother. Again, guys, I tell you this all the time. Your tribe, the people that you choose to have in your life, is the most important decision you'll probably ever make. And I'm blessed to have this brother in my life, man. At ease, my man. So if y'all don't know who Soul Immortal is, go ahead and after this live, look him up on YouTube, man. This brother, his content has changed my life in so many ways. So definitely do yourself a favor and look up my man, Soul Immortal. Yeah, but like I was saying, if you're dating, stop, right? You're trying to get your shit together, X the dating. And if you are in a relationship, you got to have that real conversation with your significant other. Step 3. Now, I'm assuming, right, and I could be wrong, I'm assuming that if you need to get your shit together, part of that is because you have a financial challenge baked into your life somehow. Minimize your expenses. Now, and stay with me here, guys. Stay with me here. It's not about saving money. I suggest you guys to minimize your expenses in order to create space. Create space. Bills requires you to invest a lot of energy into paying them, right? And the more time you spend working on a job, the less time you'll have to invest into yourself. So if you cut off the cable, which already is a distraction, right? Cut off the cable, wherever you can minimize expenses. Stop going out, which honestly, you should probably be doing anyway. So a lot of the things that you will cut out when you minimize your expenses will be good for you on this part of your journey. So minimize your expenses so that you can invest time into education. You can invest more time into meditation. You can find a mentor that you can volunteer your time for, too, I should say. You can find a mentor that you can volunteer your time, and you can learn a skill, or you can be mentored, right? Someone that's going to help sharpen you mentally. So they can teach you a skill, right? Let's say, you have aspirations to be the best real estate agent. You can connect with the best real estate agent in your area and you say, hey, listen, let me help you. Whatever you need me to do, let me help you. Let me volunteer 12 hours of my time every week just for the opportunity to be around and to learn from you. But you can't do that if you got to work 40, 50, 60 hours a week to pay for your car note, right? When you can get rid of your car note and get something cheaper, or get rid of cable, or whatever your expenses are, that stop hanging out and spending $60, $70 a night at the bar. Cut that down so that you don't have as much financial pressure, which creates more space in your life that you can do things like read more, get a mentor, learn a skill. You need to, if you're going to get your shit together, you need to learn a skill. You need to have some way to, for one, especially for men, for you to generate income and for you to feel valuable, right? To feel like you're contributing to the world in some way. Listen, when Fat breaks, bro, when this guy was in his 20s and even early 30s, he had no sense of self-worth because he didn't do anything to contribute to the evolution of the species, to contribute to life in any significant way. He didn't have any real skills. He had nothing to help people with. So if you want to get your shit together, you have to become a person who is valuable in the marketplace. And you do that by developing some sort of skill. Straight up. You do that by developing some sort of skill. And in order to develop a skill, you have to have the time to learn a skill. Right? So minimize your expenses. I think that's a really good suggestion if you're trying to get your shit together. And then find a job or legal hustle that covers just these minimal living expenses, and then create a budget. Create a budget, time budget and money budget, which we're going to get to in a second. Right? You have to create space in your life to invest in yourself, guys. You have to create space. You have to create time in your day, in your week, in your month to read, to listen to podcasts, to network, to find mentors, to volunteer for mentors, right? You have to create the space to do that. You have to create the space. All right. Step 4, you have to have structure and routines, right? So now let's go through them again real quick, right? I'm going to go through them real quick. Step 1 was to have this honest self-assessment, right? And I suggest doing it in a journaling session. Step 2, right? And these are all things that I personally done. Well, step 1.5, set some goals. Clear, measurable goals, SMART goals. Step 2, communicate to the people around you what the season of your life is about to be about, right? Step 3, minimize your expenses, create space for you to invest time and energy into yourself, right? And then step 4, create structure and routine around these things that we mentioned before. Create structure and routine. You have to have a routine. You can't wake up and freestyle your day. You have to plan, and you have to put your plans into some sort of structured routine. What do you do every single day? What's your wake up routine? What are you doing with your day? What's your evening routine? You have to outline this stuff. You have to figure out what that looks like. And you have to have things in your routine that get you closer to where you're trying to take your life, right? So your routines, they should include, right? And this is just some suggestions. Obviously, exercise is an important part of anyone's daily routine. eating healthy food, right? These should go without saying, but I have to mention them. Some sort of alone time. All right, let me put this on the screen. Right? Some sort of alone time, meditation, journal, mindfulness, prayer every day. Even if it's just for a few minutes every day, you need to invest that time into yourself. That's that time for you to really get to know yourself on a deeper level, for you to go inward, right? And then there should be some time every day for you to educate yourself. Books, podcasts, research. And of course, family time, if that's applicable, right? If you have a family, if you have a spouse, if you have children, there should be time for them every day. But you need to create routine around this. What time do you wake up? Wake up at the same time every day. Go to sleep at the same time every day. Create some sort of structure in your life. And step 5, right? This is a bonus step. Do these things every day for the next 5 to 10 years, because that's how long it's probably going to take you. And that's just the reality of it. I mean, it depends on what your goals are, right? But you're trying to become a better version of yourself. That's not going to happen in a year. You can make progress, a lot of progress. And that's why consistency is so important, right? Because this is a game of inches. Self-improvement, weight loss, whatever you're trying to improve in your life is a game of inches. And if you can gain inches every day for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, which, 10 years sound like a long time, right? But it's not, guys. We get so bogged down into these moments, like, oh, today was a tough day. Fuck. And the moments seem so big. But when you have the ability to zoom out and look at things from a year perspective to 5 years and 10-year perspective, it makes these intense moments seem less dramatic. Life is long, guys. And you got to be strategic. You got to think, you got to have a macro perspective on things. You can't be so bogged down on these like intense moments where you're experiencing challenges, because it's just a moment. Think about how many moments you've had, but think about how big they feel in the middle of them. But when you get past them and you look back, it's like, okay, yeah, it was nothing, right? So try to remind yourself in the middle of struggle or in the middle of a challenging moment, like this is nothing. Let me zoom out, right? Let me zoom out. Do these things every day for the next 5 to 10 years. I had a thought just now. It left me. Oh yeah. So I had this, I heard this saying. It says, the days are long, but the years are short. Let me know if that resonates with anyone else. The days are long, the years are short. That's how it feels, especially as I get older. Put a 1 in the chat if you felt that. The days are long, but the years are short. I remember when I heard that, I'm like, bang, that hit me hard. That hit me hard. The days are long, but the years are short. Remember that, y'all. For sure. All right, I got a super chat. Mr. Joseph, I'm going to wrap up soon. How important is stretching every day? Very important. Very important. I think stretching is one of those things that I think is one of the most important things when we're talking about vitality and mobility as you get older, right? If you want to be able to move for a very long time and you want to be able to function for a very long time, I would stretch regularly. I would definitely stretch regularly. Good question. I'll take some questions now, guys. If we have it, I'll do a quick review before I pop off. These streams have been a huge part of holding myself accountable. Not gonna lie, it definitely brings together the Bricks YouTube community. I'm definitely gonna start doing them. And again, Rip City, I appreciate the support, bro. For real, for real. I wish I can express how much I appreciate breaks. Interesting. That's dope. I appreciate that. When do you go to sleep? I go to sleep. I try to be in bed by 10:30 every night because I'm an early riser. I wake up at 4:30, 5 o'clock every day. So I try my best. Obviously, I'm not always able to do that, but most of the time I do. Most of the time I do. How do I do a visualization session at home? All right, so here's the thing, guys. Remember when you were a kid? Like we gotta return back to some of our childhood ways, right? Our imaginations. We let life strip away our imaginations. If you can close your eyes and literally just create images, right? Just think of a thing. Like right now, I'm thinking of, I don't know, a red Corvette. Like I'm thinking of a red Corvette. I see it, right? And then really try to engage your senses with it as well, right? How does it smell? Like I'm like right now in my mind, I'm getting into it, right? I open the door, I'm getting into it, and I'm imagining what it smells like in there, right? And I'm imagining what air freshener I have hanging from the mirror, and I'm imagining the color of the stitching that I ordered, right? So it's about bringing these details to your mind, and as you bring them to your mind, your mind should create an image for it, right? So imagine what it smells, and that's why it's important to do things that gives you some experiences to leverage for visualization. You feel what I'm saying? Simply Sam. So Sam is one of my favorite online coaching clients. Truly, thank you so much, Sam. I really, 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 really appreciate the super sticker. That's love. But yeah, visualization is popping. It's popping. How many minutes do you visualize every day? It's just a few minutes. You know, so it's a part of my morning routine. I look at my hold on, let me show you. I look at my let me pull it up. Oh shit, I can pull it up on my, and I don't mind sharing this stuff with you guys. I don't mind sharing it. Hold on, let me pull it up. So this is my vision board. Let me pull it up. All right. Every morning I go through the images on my vision board, right? And I use this to visualize. Like I'll look at it and then I'll close my eyes, and then I'll just imagine that I'm in the space, that I'm in the kitchen, right? And I'll do this for a few minutes. I'll probably take like 5-10 minutes, right? This is the RV that I want to get. Right? I imagine myself in there. This is, so I imagine all this stuff, right? This is me and my son. This is the vision that I have for me and my son, right? I have images that create positive emotions in my body, right? And I use that because that's really the sauce, is the emotion. It's not so much the image. It's the positive or whatever emotion that you feel that is the creative energy, the creative power. It's not so much the image. So yeah, hopefully that was helpful, guys. Thanks again, Sam. You're welcome, Coach. Thanks for all the information you give and the patience. No doubt. No doubt. That's love, y'all. Anyway, so I'm gonna end the broadcast. I really appreciate all the super chats. I'm gonna eventually figure out some sort of schedule for this. I enjoy this stuff, guys. I really do, and I can do this regularly for sure. So, matter of fact, if you guys want me to do this regularly, put a 1 in the chat. I want to get an assessment of how many people actually, if there's actually a demand for this. Bella Brat, for you, thank you so much for the super sticker. Put a 1 in the chat if you guys want me to do this regularly. I will start to put together a schedule. That way you guys know exactly when I'll do them. I'll do them a few times a week. Yes. All right. So see, here's the thing. I'm behind the curve with this live thing. I'm behind the curve. So if you guys want me to do this, I will 100% commit to it. So If you guys don't follow me on Instagram, because that's where I do a lot of my communicating, follow me on Instagram at Bricks Fitness, obviously. And eventually I'm going to be posting a schedule, right? We'll probably do it like, I don't know, 2 or 3 times a week, something like that. If you go live more often, I'll definitely be in attendance. Thank you, Ashley. I really appreciate you guys. At least once a week, if that would be awesome. All right, cool. I got you. And yo, 2K Tracy, I appreciate the suggestion for the video or for the live. It's very helpful. And guys, if you have video suggestions, please put them in the chat, because I really make content based on what you guys need or what you want, right? Shout out to you, Jesse. Salute. Good luck on your journey, for sure. All right, guys, remember, the body that you want is owned by a higher version of yourself, a version with better habits, better thinking habits, eating habits, reading habits. So evolve. We have to evolve, guys. Much love, much love, much love. All right, peace.